documentation out there. Some years ago, I researched it all, and it said that WordPress had no problem with people using WP in a business name.
That's correct.
So,
yes.
Yeah, it's they're out of luck.
Yeah.
Well, they
I'll get this guy out.
I'll say though that you can't put that if you release a WordPress plugin.
Yeah, you can't not use it for your company, your business name at all. They only specify business name, and then they actually reference WP Engine in the trademark policy, which is hilarious.
No, but if you like release a plugin to the official directory,
I'm not sure.
You can use it as the plugin name, but it can't be the slug. So you can choose your URL for your on your WordPress.org. And that one that also can't have a other company name, or it can't start with a company name. So if you had like a plugin for Forbes or something,
WP Form, yeah.
No, like like a company like Forbes or
Forbes.
Like that, you couldn't call your New York Times. Yeah, New York Times. Sorry, you couldn't call your plugin New York Times plugin, but you could call it plugin for New York Times.
Right.
I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I was setting up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
When I was setting up the meetup, and they were very specific about how the domain name of a website that you have can't say WordPress, but you can use WP.
Yep.
Yeah, that's correct. And you can still use WP in that manner. It just cannot be in your company name.
Yeah.
And be related to actual WordPress, like WP Engine specifically, which they, like I said, they literally mentioned in the policy.
Yeah. Okay, that's gonna be fun.
I'm gonna send Jack after him.
Do it.
Okay. Want me to start, Becky?
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
All right. How do I get to view it, to show my screen?
It should be. You can.
Down
Well, I
below,
don't
looks
know.
like a
It's a square.
a rectangle with an up arrow.
Oh, that guy right there. Allow to share window, allow to share screen. Which should I use? Screen. I don't care.
Depends on what your background is.
Nah.
I'm
just kidding.
Yeah. No, it's all GP related. Okay. What did I do here yet? What have we got? Did I get anywhere yet?
Yep,
We can see your desktop.
Okay. How do
So
I
you might
use
want
this stuff
to slide that browser down or minimize it so we can see the WP apps for that.
What am I trying to? I got 4 boxes over here on the right, and it says stop processing, and it says ignore.
Yeah, nope. You're gonna want to minus out of that whole window that we're in, and just click on the WP apps for that. And I go up from there. Yeah, mouse cursor up. No, that's a recording of your screen.
Okay, stop recording. Okay, that's okay. Okay.
So if you click on the little yellow dot on the top left of the browser window.
Yeah, no, the other one. No, higher than that.
All the way up.
All the way up.
It's mirroring everything. Yeah, and then we'll be able to see your application.
There you go.
Oh, I'm there, but I don't know it. Uh-oh.
Well, yeah. Well, you can just keep going. We can see your desktop.
We can see it. Yep.
Okay. So you see this trademark violation, WP apps for that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm in Chrome, and I'm going to show the demo version of it. It pretty much is working. I keep changing stuff every 3 hours when I got time to work on it. Anyway, what this is a personal shopping cart for people, and it runs on it's a WordPress based application. It is not a plugin. It's an app. That's where I got the name WP apps for that. And I know there's violations there, but we won't go there. Okay. The whole idea of this, and I've got documentation out here on this that can be seen. The whole idea of this is a simple shopping app that does two basic things. Number one, each item name is unique. In other words, if you got raisins, you can't have raisins in there twice. You can have raisins and cereal in there. Okay. The second thing is that's important to me is location. Where is it in the store? Now, Walmart is what will show that's best for people. Okay. This is a single app that runs everything. It'll probably have other apps that go with it later on, but all it is you can add it. You can add an item. Okay, beer. We need some beer today. Okay, location. Okay, it's in at Walmart. It's about aisle 820. Okay, I want 2. Okay, favorite. Okay, and what store am I going to go to? Okay, I'm going to go to Walmart. Then I submit it, and that quickly I've got beer on here. Where'd he go? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to search beer. Okay, there it is. Okay, now I can edit it or I can delete it. And right now it defaults, it's in your favorites. So favorites is like, this is what I want to shop on today. Okay, so I got all of them. Now I've got 4 or 5 stores in here. That in my demo, I've got Walmart, Amazon, Costco, and maybe Lowe's and Menards. Okay, now the biggest thing about it is, and I'm going to go fast because I know there's other things for people to talk about, is when I go shopping, I do all of our shopping and I do our grocery shopping at Walmart. We're in Manitowoc. We don't have many choices, but Walmart is just down the road. Okay, so the whole trick is when I hit go shop, I reduce the screen so that you got a very small footprint, because this is also it's on a my mind, I'm old, so my mind went away. It's on a
Oh, you made it responsive so it'll fit on your phone?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for saving
great.
me. It's fully responsive. So I want this to be as small as possible. So now I'm at the store and I'm at Walmart. Now you will notice, again, I don't have this sort set up on here. Typically when I take the app that I'm using, I've got it on Walmart and it shows this, it shows an order of where they are. Now, if I were to, I haven't been over here for a while, but anyway, the whole idea is when I go to the store, okay, salad dressing is in aisle A09 or A9. Okay, when I get done, I just click that, and it's gone. It's out of that list. Now I'm working on this part right now where it'll stay in that form all the time. So we'll just go back to go shop. So now that's out of there. Now, if I want to add, so the whole idea is the way it's organized, and you can see in location A14, A15, A15, A18, A20. The whole idea is I now go around the store in Walmart and never go back for anything else. Following my logic on?
Yeah. This is great because I always write my list in the order of the store. And this is doing it for you.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know where these things are.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I look them up on Walmart. Okay. Now, Favs are Fab on is that's what you want today. Fab off is okay. What's okay? Oh, there's a whole bunch of them that are off. Oh, let's find some of the things that won't. And now I'm sitting at home. Okay. I need limes. Okay, we'll turn them on. Now they're on. Okay, I'll go back here again, and I'm working on controls that'll keep you in these areas at one time. Okay, we need, okay, yeah, we're going to go to Costco next week. Okay, so let's put that on. Okay, now you'll come back and see, we'll widen this out again. Now you come back and you'll see that Costco, and I've got these sorted by alphabetical order on this list here, with Walmart being the default and pull down. Following me?
Yep.
Okay. Now, raisins. Okay, I want something else on raisins. Raisins with pull string. I'm inventing things as I go. Doesn't exist. Okay, it's in the food aisle. Okay, now see, here's the Walmart problem. Nothing's organized in Walmart, and it moves all the time. So you got to live with that. Okay, now let's change that. Let's change that to Lowe's. Okay, we're done. Okay, now let's go look. Let's go look at these guys again, and let's see if by gosh, there's Lowe's right there. I moved it to there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've got other things that I'm working on. I've got a settings area, but I'm not even going to go into that. But the whole idea is when you go into Go Shop, you've got this list in front of you on your phone. If you pull this up and WP apps for that, just logging in, you don't have to log into it. You'll get this as a visitor. You can pull that up right now. That's the basic concept of it. I got a lot of things going on right now. About a year ago, I started using temporary tables for fancy reports for this organization that I used to work for in Arizona. It was when I lived down there, and I worked on them for a few years, and now they went off to somebody else, and I got furloughed. Oh, I got fired at age 77. I don't have a job anymore. Bummer.
Congratulations.
But where the hell was I going? I don't know. Anyway,
you started this to fill the time.
Well, yeah, the one I had, it was just taking tons of my time, and I kept raising the prices. They finally said no. Which I was just tickled pink about. They went off to that outfit out of Canada. It's got it's something. They say they do everything. I'll think of the name a little bit. But anyway, I started writing this, and what I went is when I go to, I'm going to get out of Go Shop. Now I'm here, and I put my items in, and if I want to go shop, and we're going to have another pull down over here to manage the stores you want to see in your Go Shop, because you may go to Walmart, then you may go over to a liquor store, then you may go over to Best Buy or something like that, and you can have those on. But I typically want to, when I go shop, I'm going to have this is just going to be on Walmart. So I'm going to have another over here by another setting over here that allow you to go jump up and manage which one of these stores do you want in the Go Shop list. Follow my theory on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now when I go to Go Shop today, this is creating a temporary table. No, I don't need it. But the reason I went to temporary table is I can take all the things that are in the item list, and I can take other things that might be over here in some of the settings. Oh, I got that turned off for here. I can go over there, and I can pull the information about the stores. And for Walmart, I got it set. I want to sort my stuff by location, then item name, and that's it. Location, item name. Whereas Costco, you don't have a location that's any reliable, so it just sorts it by item name. Now,
okay.
Walmart has this. Most all the grocery stores are now having it. Lowe's has got this. Menards has got this, where they've got all their stuff is in all their aisles are listed, and also where you find them in the aisle. That's the thing that I'm working on with this location. And that's why I'm using temporary table, because I can pull other stuff from the stores file and the settings file to help me deal with how each store sorts. So if we get out of here again, we go back here, Walmart is going to sort by location and then item name. Costco's not going to. So my thinking is, if I'm going to pull a bunch of stores at once, I'm going to take them, and I'm using my hands. You can't see them. I'm going to take them and I'm going to sort them. I'm going to sort Walmart, and I'm going to stop the sort and display, and then I'm going to go down and find the next store that I want to go to in that day and put that list below the Walmart list, and it'll be in the order for Amazon or Costco or Heartland's or Lowe's or Menards. That's what.
May I ask a
Yes.
question? When you say temporary table, do you actually mean like in the database? It's a
Yep.
temporary table?
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. And that's what I started using those a year ago, and I kind of like them, but now I'm having to learn some more things about them. And temporary table, well, I won't go into temporary tables. Now, there's a drawback when I go over here, and when I change this from being on here, okay, that updates the main database. However, if I got temporary table running and I keep it alive, which I'm working on now, I'm going to have to make 2 updates to that database table. That's okay. But also, if I leave here, if I'm here and I click another one of these, if I don't use a temporary table, I can actually let the temporary table disappear as soon as I paint this list. And then every time I need it, when it reloads, it'll reload from the production table into a new temporary table. But it can give me some more stored things I need. Do I need it? Don't know yet. I'm just playing with it because it doesn't matter. I got time, I hope. Okay, that's pretty much about it. That's enough.
Well, that's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It runs, it's got about, and okay, this guy here, let's go here. Okay, I'm lying about this. I'm not going to get it out. Okay, this talks about the methodology I use for apps, but over here, I'm starting to talk about design and what I'm up to and why I'm doing this, and something about the database for there's the tables that I've got out there right now.
I think that's really cool that you're doing that at the same time. It's probably like a really good way to organize your thoughts, get everything going. When you're done, it'll already be done. So
yeah, it's I've been busy for 8 years taking care of this club in Arizona, and I didn't have time to do anything like this. And I've been using an app from somebody, I won't say their name, but it's mentioned, but their name is not mentioned, and they're highly rated, but they don't have unique items and they don't have a location in the store. I just got so sick of it. About 2 months ago, I said, I'm doing it. I started writing it.
Yeah. Invention is born of necessity.
Yep. Well, it's Becky, there you hit it. Necessity. This is going to be free. And it's going to stay free. And the reason it's free is because if I charge for it, I got to support it. The other thing is, I want to pass on the knowledge that I've learned on my own about creating apps in WordPress that are not plugins. And it's pretty simple, and it's all discussed in here. It's pretty simple, but I would say 95% of the developers don't know about it or don't use it. Okay. For this application, I'm not even putting I'm not even putting functions in the functions PHP file. I've got my own function, own table or own PHP file for functions. And the reason I did that is because I want to be able to say, okay, here's the distribution. You unzip it and you run an installer program to put all your database in, and then you put, well, you take the zip file and you put it in your theme's child theme directory.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, child theme.
So
and everything stays in there.
My question is for you, since you're doing it that way, why not just do it as a plugin? Because it would work essentially the same, except you could just hit install in the plugin section. Essentially, the coding would be exactly the same as the way you're doing it, just different folder, really. So it would be able to kind of work more natively that way.
Well, one, I haven't learned I started learning plugins while I was looking for how to do this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I did Perl for many, many years, and before that, I did other things. I started writing software in 1986. So, and then finally got into WordPress. I started seeing it in the early part of 2000s, but I got into this in 2015, 14, 16 on up. And I started to learn plugins, but I said, no, it's not doing what I want. And I can't disagree with it. However, because of the security problems and the attacks on plugins, I'm shying away from doing a plugin. Because the number one big problem, and you've all seen it, I think, is the abandoned plugins are what hackers are going after. They're being able to get a hold of the access, and now they got access to a plugin. It'll be updated. They can distribute a bunch of bad stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's a really unique way to go about it. I'm gonna keep an eye on it.
Yeah. I've used my 5 minutes.
Yeah, Philip, did you have anything?
Yeah, I can go.
How do I get out of where I'm at?
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Are
you able to share, Philip? You might be able to take over sharing if you
kick me out.
Okay.
Kick him out. Yeah.
Here I go. So.
But why he's doing that, Becky? How many people are in the in this group, in this WordPress group in your Madison? How many subscribers?
Somewhere between 400 and 500 are in the Meetup group. The actual us has never gotten more, like people that attend, it has never been more than like 8 or 9 at a Meetup.
Do they correspond at all?
Not. I don't get a lot of messages from people. We have a Slack that's pretty quiet. No, the quiet group.
Well, when I'm ready to let this go or put this out, I'll let you know if if this can be shared with the group.
Oh yeah, please do.
Okay. Phil, did you figure out how to kick me out yet?
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yep. Yeah.
No.
So, Dave, you'll need to find Safari in your.
Okay. Okay. Oh, all right.
And then maximize that again.
Okay. See, okay. Here he is. Okay, there he is.
And then there we go.
Okay.
What do I have to kill?
Nope, we're good to go.
You're good.
Dave, if you want to send that, if you have a repo too, Dave, and that GitHub repo or whatever you're using to show your app and you want a code review, I'd be happy to, take a look. But,
okay.
Yeah. So I work at a chiropractor franchising company called The Wellness Way in Green Bay. And we have like 50 locations. globally. We got one in Ireland, but I'm there as a developer. We have a Magento store and we have a WordPress website. So I actually have been learning Magento for the first time for the last year as well, but still not even anywhere near what I do with WordPress. But what I kind of want to show today is how my team and I built this tool that started as an idea one of the writers had, and it ended up being our second most, and now now starting to approach to be our most trafficked, most highly visited page on the website.
Cool.
And that is the protein calculator. So, I have a heavy background in SEO, search engine optimization, which most people that do WordPress are familiar with. And I started myself off. I started as a writer before I even got into development, and I did link building, SEO before I even started programming. But WordPress, I really dug into the back end of it, and I kind of shifted gears around 2016 and started being a developer. But this protein calculator is a plugin. We ended up building it as a plugin, and we started with looking at other. We did a lot of research beforehand, looking at other protein calculators. We have every July our company has challenged to try to get the optimal protein intake for the entire month. So the goal was to use this calculator, figure out how much you should eat, and then kind of try to challenge yourself to do it for 30 days. So if we look at, we started tracking the keywords using SEMrush. You might be familiar with it. And in May we weren't anywhere near. We originally thought this was going to take about 9 months to get on the first page for Google. And probably 2 years to get to number one, because once you get to the first page, it's a lot easier to get to the first page than it is to number one.
Crawl up the last bit of the mountain.
Yeah, exactly. Right now we're sitting at number 6, but we have seen ourselves at number 2.
Wow.
And if you do Google, if you just type in the wellness way, you'll see the first things that even comes up. Now we're actually in the
you're number 6.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So this is actually, sometimes will pop up between 2 but this is actually a huge keyword. It gets 40. Just this keyword gets 40,000 searches a month. And
Which
not
keyword?
Protein calculator.
Oh, okay.
Who knew?
Yeah. It's that
I gotta watch my protein now.
Yeah,
definitely, yeah.
So, but there's all different sorts of variations on that keyword too. Protein calculator for seniors, for bodybuilders, for people that want to lose weight. What if you're pregnant? Things like that. And that's kind of what this plugin does. So if you take a look at the back end, we have, first of all, we have a base settings. So you can actually change the theme of it, and that will give you a completely different calculator. I'm not going to do that right now because it's a large site. And we gave some basic options like what color do you want it to be, things like that. That way other people could actually download it, white label it basically. Essentially, we don't put a link in there too, so it wouldn't be linking back to our site. We just kind of want people to use it because we think it's cool. And I have had 2 people download it and kind of play around with it, and they've been giving me feedback and stuff. So it's actually kind of been a little bit enlightening to see how a plugin could take off, although it would require a lot of work to get it anywhere near where it should be. So as And one of the things you can do with it is we made it so that you can customize the actual calculator and customize the formula. If you are a health professional or if you were someone that, you wanted to have your own numbers. So it basically multiplies grams per pound. So you can set the grams per pound, or if you want to switch it to metric, you can start with the metric system. If I save it, it'll automatically convert it to the other system.
Nice.
Yeah, that made it really easy because then you'd have to fill all the fields out instead of just one. And then it has a range too. So there's a low range and a high range. You can set these labels. These will pertain to like the drop-down labels. You can enable, between 5 up to 5 different categories, and then name that category. So the very active category, we named it high for athletes. We disabled the last 2. And there's also a hidden, we don't have it active right now on our site, but if you were to download it, you could also do, for pregnant, things like that. You can add an H2 above the calculator, or, whatever you want it to be. And so, if we play around with it for a little bit.
One thing in the settings too, that would be nice. I guess nice to see from, I guess, a normal, I wouldn't say normal user's perspective, but someone that wants to edit their website is maybe do link to your site, and just to show how it could be used for one, and to kind of show those default calculations and where they're, what the result is.
Right.
If that makes any sense. I guess because you could go in there and mess with the numbers all you wanted and not know what you're talking about and really lead people in the wrong direction. I guess that's my point. Which is,
we could definitely more examples, more screenshots, more documentation.
Right. Yeah.
Are you saying that it's kind of like a little bit hard to like just get from like the back end, like what it does, or?
Yeah, but exactly. More documentation, I guess, is what I'm really getting at, and I guess how you are coming up with your calculations. I guess what research have you guys, what studies are you guys using to come up with those calculations?
Right. Okay, so so we do have, this page does go into depth about like recommended dietary allowance, the RDA, CDC actually everyone has their own numbers. There's a European group that has their own numbers.
This is exactly what I meant. Yep. Cool.
Yeah. It dives into the activity level, the fitness goals and things like that. I would encourage you to read this. It's actually, it's a pretty good article. Our writers and research team wrote it. But you can change, so if I enter, it is a little high. In my personal opinion, it's a little high, like actually kind of hard to eat that much protein.
Yeah, it is.
It is. This is like 2 steaks, or at least a steak. A pound of steak is 90 grams of protein.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. So,
I'm in trouble. I don't eat things with feet.
Yeah. Well, plant-based protein is really good too.
Yeah. A lot of beans.
My girlfriend was vegetarian for a long time and did a lot of plant-based protein powders, and protein it's huge. I like this is a really cool tool because protein is a big deal. Even if you're not trying to gain muscle or anything like that, I lost a lot of weight just essentially watching my protein and my calorie, and keeping my calories decent.
Yeah, and people don't know that you can actually lose weight if you like actually keep your eye on your protein and stuff like that, and add it. So.
The Atkins diet talked about that 100 years ago. Not 100, but
a long time ago. Yeah.
150-ish.
Yeah.
Well, you look at part of the reason that keto works is because it's higher. It ends up. I guess this is my opinion, but as a result, you end up being higher protein than you would have been without keto, most likely. And you're cutting out all those bad carbs and replacing it with protein. So
exactly. And yeah, I did do this. I tracked my protein for 30 days. And I was feeling really good. You know, even my face was like flush and red, and like I felt good. And it took 30 days to get to this directory. Now, when you submit to the WordPress directory, sometimes it will be, I've seen it take 80 days before they do a code review.
Wow.
Yeah, it depends like what time of the year it is. It depends what's going on in the world, in the WP universe. Trademark. But yeah, I think for right now it seems pretty safe to say it'll take like 24 days. And I just updated it 2 days ago. One of the things that I really am trying to push to, I'm trying to add more functionality so that in the future the protein calculator will just kind of be like something that runs in the background, whereas the main thing might be something completely different. I just started making like a few other very small calculators just to start getting ideas. Like this one will calculate how much is calculate how much is in each food.
I'm picturing a mashup of Dave's app and this plugin.
So I know
actually I was thinking that.
Well, it's funny. So I seen when you first started screen sharing, you were working with the Walmart. You're trying to work with the Walmart API, and so I mean my guess, and I guess what I would think you would do is free. I see you guys have like a monthly subscription program. I think anybody that would be prescribed to that would be able to essentially add their shopping, their grocery lists to your calculator and get the amount of protein, something like that, on a base level, anyways. But my point is, it would be a good upsell.
I think there might be something there, so we'll have to see if there's a collab or something. But definitely would be useful to like go to the store and see how much protein is in the food and things like that. But
another thing you can pretty easily implement, I shouldn't say easily, but possible to implement would be you can you know how you can scan the not QR codes, but the actual barcodes, the barcodes on food with a lot of these apps now. I mean, that's something that would be implementable long term too to your paying customers, I think.
like you were saying, like you scan the barcode and then
it would tell you it would pull the ingredients list, tell you the amount of protein, things like that, and maybe add it to a tracker.
I like the nutritional.
Right.
Sure.
So that is one of the short-term goals for this to be, so you have the food, we have the food already. So number one, right now there's only 40, but we want to be able to like add foods. I was debating on making that a custom post type or trying to do like a custom table. Custom post type would be faster, but I don't, like for food item, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean, if you use like MetaBox, I don't know if you use MetaBox or ACF, but you can do a custom post type and then do a custom database that stores it kind of, a more efficient way than the default WordPress way.
Right.
I think that would work really well.
Yeah. ACF, thank God I have my, that's one plugin where you get a lifetime license to that. So, but recipes is kind of like the next, what you're saying, the next step I think would be or one of the next steps would be to kind of like, when you have a recipe, there could be like I think short codes, don't sleep on short codes, right?
Mm-hmm.
All these ingredients could just kind of like, you could calculate the nutritional facts. And most recipe plugins do have that, but if you're not using a recipe plugin, they could kind of calculate the protein and just like whatever.
I'm not sure how are you pulling in any dynamic data into these pages right now?
Not right now, no. It's not hooked up to any APIs at this moment.
I mean, like dynamic data, as in like you're talking about custom post types. You can pull data from a field within a custom post type to a page, dynamically based on the page.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
maybe not the rest. The recipe pages are pretty static, but we have a
Yeah.
ton of other pages that are doing that.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.
I have a question or two before we run out of time.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah.
Oh.
Lay it on us.
My wife, the term is the allergies and the food problem. She has
Right.
the bowel syndrome problem. Where
IBS?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And you got the word protein here, but is the protein is just the big term on here? Are you looking, again using my hands, I mean, good. Are you looking at solutions for all types of things in the whole dietary world?
Yeah, you're right that protein is the big under umbrella thing. That's what we were trying to get first in terms of SEO, right? But if you
I understand that now. Yep.
The prefix of the plugin is actually TWWC, which is TWW calculator. And after protein, I think would probably come calories, because those aren't one-to-one related, but they are related. And then I don't know what would be after that, but I think that would be after we tackle protein. I think it would be calories.
Well, with all the stuff you're dealing with here,
Yeah.
every food has got protein in it. I mean, most every food.
A percentage.
Am I right or wrong?
Yeah. I mean, most foods have protein. I don't, it's either protein or carbs, right? So, I'm not sure pasta has protein or.
Right. It could just be. I mean, everything has protein, but it can just be extremely minimal.
Yeah,
Right.
and the ingredients things. My wife and I were talking about that last night. I said, how, you got this, you got this, you got this. Well, you got to find out what's in it. And Becky, you signed that you know a lot about this because you said you don't eat anything that's got feet.
Right.
I've never seen feet on my ingredients list before, but that would.
Good.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. That's one of the goals, is because people ask all the time, like, how much protein do pumpkin seeds have, and how does it compare to peanut butter?
Yeah.
Right. So,
You're like, I don't know. Go read the ingredients.
right. So, just from doing this, there's a lot that has been like, when you go through a project like this, you'll be able to come, even if you don't have the answer right away, knowing how to answer questions, knowing what they might be actually asking is good. So
yeah, I mean, going through a project like this, it really does enhance your critical thinking on that subject, and being able to, like you said, answer those questions now, or even if your original idea doesn't exactly work out the way you want it to, usually you can pivot with that new knowledge and figure out something else that's probably even better.
Right.
Who's the demographics of what you're doing? Really, what are you targeting?
Human beings.
So that's a good question. I will say that our company historically, the demographics has been women, to be honest, like, or whatever. But, I think with this, from the get-go, it's just been like people who track their protein, right? So people that, they want to track their protein. They're looking to, like, put that daily number in every single day. That would be, if that makes sense.
So do you actually have a way of tracking that protein yet, or is that kind of in the works? Or is it just kind of? I know this calculator right now shows you, how much protein you need, and then you have lower than that. You have how much protein do you get?
I'll say we're in a position to make that pivot, so we're in a position to like start doing that. Like when we wrote this article, when we started thinking about the SEO for this was the number one key the number one keyword, right? But as you start tailing down here, you start thinking about, okay, what do I want to rank for next, right? And so we put this little section here, just, it doesn't have to be a whole bunch because this isn't about tracking your protein yet. But when you put up a page on Google, like the first thing, your first impression matters when you put up a page.
Yes.
So when we put up this page, not only did we put up this page, but we made sure that every single page on our website that mentioned protein or was about protein linked to this page. We contacted other people and we had them, other websites, link to this page when we launched it. We had other people download the plugin and try it. We actually did pay one person $50 a month to just test this plugin. And so it was like a coordinated thing. And the tail end of it though, we start thinking about, okay, what's next up? And that would be like people that track it. So lo and behold, if we were to look at the search volumes, we started not even close to the first page, but we were hitting that third page for some keywords with the word track in it, right? So then maybe 6 months from now, or 3 months from now, we started targeting track.
So how quickly
how
did
does
you
this relate to chiropractics?
Our company is pretty unique. So we're a franchising company. We're a franchise. Our company. We're almost like an agency, and we serve other chiropractors. But we have a franchise, and we also have a supplement store. So it's
Okay.
Right. Like a whole health.
Like a whole natural health. So all that.
Okay.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's it.
Can you show the SEMrush? I just want to see that chart because it looks very impressive.
I was going to ask, how quickly did you guys rank here? Yeah, very
quickly.
So
I've done projects before where I've straight up got a site without even a good site, where it was just link building, to be honest with you. But this was a little while ago, where just from links was able to get to page 1, but it took 9 months. I got a site, a no-name site, no brand, no anything, just purely link building from the bottom of the search engine to number 1 in a period of 9 months.
Wow.
For a pretty high volume keyword, pretty competitive keyword at the time. Now this one is a lot, so I was thinking it would take about 9 months, and it happened really fast, to be honest with you. We were really surprised. It took about, we saw it first, we saw it on page 5, then we saw it on page, 3, and we were like, oh, it's going up. It's pretty cool. And then maybe 2 or 3 months later, it was on page 1. It was, or at least 13. It was right there.
Nice.
And we started getting, I didn't want to get excited because it could fall off the map. And actually Google in the last year has been pretty insane with their research. Yeah, it hasn't been predictable at all. They're the way they're ranking content right now is pretty wacky. And so still think that it could drop off the map at any day, so I'll be more excited when it hits the first top 5 in Bing, to be honest with you, at this point, because it's still lacking in Bing a little bit, and I feel like Bing is kind of just a little bit.
It's a little more predictable, yeah.
Yeah, rely a little more you're set in stone. They're not doing too many crazy things. So,
cool. Well, we're at the hour, and I don't need to go anywhere for about 20 more minutes. So if
I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I can tear through mine real quick here.
Well, I don't want you to feel rushed. I just wanted to let everyone know because it's in my habit to tell people in case they have another meeting, even though it's 7 p.m. where I am.
For us, yeah.
And hopefully you're not headed to another meeting.
Well, Becky, where can I met Phil here a couple 3 weeks ago with a meeting, with the group Green Bay. How can we get more developers involved? I mean, what are we going to do?
For meetups, you mean?
Yeah,
Well,
meetup is the start. Yeah.
So I, as the organizer of this meetup, I should be consistently doing it once a month so that people can have an expected, schedule. And I got a little lazy during Christmas last year, and WordPress said you need to have a meetup or we won't sponsor you on meetup.com anymore. So that's why we did it last month. So apparently we can go 6 months without doing it.
Wow.
But I don't want to do that to you guys. So this is fun. I love just bullshitting and
absolutely.
seeing people's projects, and it's hard for me to plan to find a speaker. So I think it's easier for people to just come and show, a 15-minute something or other. And
I like these. I like this.
Yeah, I do too. And if people are willing to do that, that's the other half of the how do we do this. So Dave, if you have developer friends that you want to bring with you, or I'm open to ideas, but I will commit to doing this once a month so that at least it's got a schedule.
Yeah, it's consistent.
Yeah.
Now your membership of 400 to 600 people, they're going to get emails about the meeting that went on. So do they get information about things that are going on or have been held in these?
They'll get invited, or they get the announcement when I create the event in Meetup.
That's if they
but
have
that
meeting
goes into
notifications on.
their and it goes into spam. It even still goes into my spam as someone who's been doing this for a while. So I don't imagine that a lot of people are actually getting that. So this time I tried to put it out in some local Slacks, and I don't use Twitter anymore, so I'm not very good at doing that, but I could get better at marketing it, through LinkedIn or other avenues.
Yeah, I get it. Though. You're not getting anything from it, but it's you have to have a passion for it, and when life's kind of more important sometimes.
Yeah, it is, but this is fun too. So
yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Richard. Have a good night.
This is interesting because I had to try and find a replacement for me until they finally decided to go with Wild Apricots, where they went.
Oh yeah, I've worked with them.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting. I put it the club belonged to put an paid ad in Craigslist for PHP developer, and I wrote the dissertation for the job, and I think I got probably 100 people wanted that job.
Wow.
And I talked, and it was a low paying job, and there's people out there, and I talked to a bunch of them, and they claim to be struggling to find independent work, and their skills are all over the board. So there's, maybe we can say some things it was amazing. I looked and finally I said, wait a minute, Craigslist. I've made a lot of money on real estate and Craigslist, and a lot of things. I'm not gobs, not rich. No, I wouldn't be living in Manitowoc. But anyway, food for thought.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I'll try to cruise through this pretty quick, but protein. But so long story short, I went back in 2014. I started Storm Digital Marketing, my digital marketing company. I was like 13 years old at the time. I'm 25 now, so time flies. But I started coding PHP, Java, JavaScript, not Java, JavaScript, HTML, CSS when I was like 13, and started doing that for fun. Ended up getting my first paid site around then. I was about 13, 14, and I've been running that ever since. Well, I noticed how bad hosting was, and it's been a big topic now all of a sudden, which is funny. How bad the whole hosting market was. I mean, I think in my opinion, the only good host out there right now has quality support, and you're not dealing with BS fees and upcharges is Rocket.net. They're really good, and I used to recommend them to all my clients until now that we're actually competing in that market. I obviously recommend them to our host, of course. That being said, I use them as a sort of a template. I love their business model. I think they're doing most things right. They're a really good company. That being said, we decided to start PageSteady, which is a managed WordPress host, mainly going towards small, kind of getting small agencies on board and just small business owners. It's not going to be people that host their own servers. They're going to do their own thing anyways. So the biggest thing, I guess, was wanting to be confident in our product. Security was really, really important, especially with all the hacks that are happening right now. So that's really what took us the most time, was getting to a point and getting all the security audits that made us feel comfortable to go public past just our current digital marketing clients, because we moved all them over 6 months ago. And it was only 3 days ago that we had our last security audit that I feel confident in actually starting to market it. And I literally just started marketing it 2 days ago. So that being said, compared to, you look at, you had mentioned SiteGround, things like that. They limit your PHP workers. They limit so much more. Let's see here. They'll even limit your backups. They'll limit the amount of staging sites you can have, or a lot of them don't have the option for a staging site, things like that. You have all that. A lot of the developer-centric tools, I can show you here on the back panel here. You're able to actually alter your PHP version on your own. You can enable all these different PHP extensions that are usually, for some reason, once again, kind of behind a paywall. One of the big ones that are behind a paywall here are Redis. Redis cache speeds up your site a lot. This is all built on Lightspeed servers, so your sites are super quick. And this is just one of my client sites I wanted to point out. I built this with myself with best practices. And I mean, it's nothing crazy though. That being said, here's the score on our host. It does fantastic. You look at page speed. Obviously accessibility and SEO. I don't follow their SEO advice anyways. It's kind of BS, but accessibility wise could improve. But yeah, performance, best practices on desktop and mobile.
Nice.
And before we switched over to even our host, we used to be on just a Namecheap dedicated server, and we were sitting at like 75, and just to switch over to us and enabling Lightspeed cache default settings, we got up to 100. So it makes a big difference. A lot of developer centric stuff, being able to sign in via SSH and use WP CLI, which is WordPress command line interface. You're able to do updates on a mass scale if you host a bunch of sites. But yeah, easy to use backend panel that's secure. Dark mode to protect your eyeballs at night. Right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, right.
It's critical.
These are just some of our clients, and as well as our main site. This is just my personal account, and I'm actually at my limit on this for this account. But we also have live chat 24/7 between me and a couple other people here in the US, as well as one of our employees in Europe that kind of covers most of those time zones. Technically, we have like a 2-hour period in the middle of the night here that's not covered right now, but we've never had an issue with that so far. So, but yeah, so you essentially you would all the chat. This is a freaking pain in the butt, getting the chat to essentially cross over between. I'm going to say test here. All the chats sync between the 3 different domains, or it's supposed to anyways. Maybe this doesn't. Let's see here, hold on. It was a pain, and oh nope, it's because it logged me out. That's why. Should be here. Nope. Okay, well apparently it's not working. It was yesterday. Anyways, moving on from that. It will be
Sounds
working.
like my
Oh,
software.
because I see the subdomain is changing.
Yes.
Okay.
So between the 3 sites, it usually does work, and I think that's because we've recently switched using. We had to implement live chat through Google Tag Manager, and I think that may have messed with it. So that's gonna be something I have to work on again. But moving on, gotta say, let me get logged in here. Hold on. Have a whole, your usual dashboard that you'd expect from any host. When it comes to your billing, you get support. You write your support tickets. A nice thing that we set up was the support pins, so you're able to actually live chat, and we're able to help you out, knowing that it's you that's logged into the account.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, we're going to have proper authentication through the live chat, where when you're logged in, it'll actually pull in your account information. The issue is you have multiple multiple softwares communicating. You have WordPress, you have UpMind, which is a billing platform, and then you have Enhance, which is a back end actual control panel for WordPress sites. So you have to get all 3 working together, and it's it's hard to get them perfectly seamless, but we're getting there. And like I said, go ahead.
Because of the problems with security and everything, I mean, I'm just going to speak out of turn. What the hell? And a program on what Storm's got here on page study, and I got it pulled up. This would be very interesting. I think it might attract a couple of people even.
Yeah, that's the goal. So the big thing is, compared to most other hosts out there, we're partnered with Sept, which is a enterprise security server security service, and not many hosting companies, especially in the WordPress what do you call it, category, are partnered with them yet. And I think they will be in the future, because they are top notch and they are freaking expensive, let me tell you. So yeah, unlike Dave, this is not free. I can't afford that, unfortunately. This is it's already costing me, just out of server bills alone, you're talking $800 a month right now, and we don't have that many clients, so it's pricey. But our pricing is I think beyond fair. $25 a month for one site, 50 for 3, and we don't limit RAM, we don't limit like I said, PHP workers. Your only limit is going to be your bandwidth a month, and really it's a rough limit. Between us and everyone else that watches this, you really can go over by quite a bit, but odds are you won't anyways. And then your big limit's just going to be your storage, and that's because it's pricey on our end. But we're about to partner with PatchStack, which I'm sure you guys may have heard of, and offer that for free. And this is most of our. Oh, go ahead.
I haven't heard of that. What?
They're able to. It's a plugin that is very lightweight. It's a security plugin, and it will patch vulnerabilities in your other plugins before they even have to update the plugin. So, for example, looked at when Bricks Builder had a big hack a while back. Everyone that had PatchStack never got hacked, never got touched, because they got a report about that hack and actually patched it for all of their customers before Bricks released an update. So we're looking to offer that for free. I think I'm missing something important here. That might be it for now. Easy to migrate from. Right now you can migrate from cPanel or Plex very, very easily. You just enter your cPanel information. And then anybody that's not on a cPanel or Plex server or Plesk server is going to have to do it manually or have us do it, which is free. But long term, we're actually working with a plugin developer right now to do an automated migration plugin where you'd install it on your site, and it would automatically migrate it to your server here.
I love those.
Yeah, so do I. So yeah, getting all this working it's been over a year now, getting this up and running to a point where I was comfortable with it, past just hosting my own clients. So yeah, I just wanted to share
Nice.
that. It's been
That's huge, man. That's a big, like, that's huge, dude. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a freaking lot of work.
A labor of love.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Hopefully it pays off long term, but regardless, I just, wanted something I was proud of and confident in when it came to the hosting, sort of service. But we don't really have too much that's out there. Like I said, I mean, if the only other hosting company I like is Rocket.net, and their pricing is spot on with ours, and we offer all the same features. So use us. And hopefully we're going to offer more, kind of more long term here, trying to actually find our list of what we're working on.
Yeah.
So
if you want to sponsor
yeah,
Meetup, we can
we
can throw your logo on the Meetup page, and you can host my stupid little WordPress site.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
Mine's smaller, I'll bet.
What were you gonna say, Storm?
No,
sorry.
Yeah, it's Philip.
So as far as like the hosting, kind of like what I look for, like as like a developer, would be I always wonder, like, how does it work with Git? Can you deploy with GitHub?
Cool. Yeah. So we don't have that integration yet, but it is coming because that is actually one of the things that Rocket.net and WP Engine offer right now that we don't. It's kind of a pain in the butt to integrate, which is why it's not done just yet, but it will be hopefully in the next month. Because that was a big thing for developer centric features, and that's one thing we really want to push, is that we're developer centric. And then another thing too, I did want to mention that just popped up here, is where you're able to fully sync with your Cloud for DNS or set up Slack notifications. So if your website goes down, your website needs updated, things like that, it'll update you to Slack.
That's cool.
Yes. So, but yeah, nope, that is in the works. But yeah, I mean, right now, technically, you could automate it through cron jobs and through SSH.
Yeah.
Technically, it could be done, but no, it's not like a direct integration yet.
Can I see the PHP INI setting?
Yeah. So I actually used it when I imported this site to actually need to enable Brotli and APCU here. I actually use the PHP INI to increase the max file size super easily. You don't have to go and edit it manually anymore. Which,
that's like one of the first things you do on WordPress usually.
Yep, it's up exactly, and I'm actually going to increase it by default for all the future sites. So, another thing too, Lightspeed Cache, which I love more than anything in the world. It installs by default on all newly created websites. When you migrate, I don't believe it installs. It might actually, because WP CLI does. It might. But the point is, that's super easy to set up, and that should be the first thing you do if you get us as a host, is set up Lightspeed Cache, because it will speed up your site significantly for visitors. And then you're also able to cache the back end now. So it can kind of mess with your developing at the same time. It can kind of be annoying, because sometimes your cache a little bit more often. But if you have a client in there that's just doing blog posts and things like that, it'll be super snappy for them if you enable it for them. So, yep, that's about it. I know we have more than that right now. Of course, I'm brain farting because it's getting late. My caffeine's disappearing out of my system.
Good work.
Yep, I appreciate it. Yep. So that's about it.
Where are you in the world?
Right now I'm in North Carolina.
Okay.
I'm from Ohio. I've lived in Florida, lived in Nevada, Colorado.
Oh, 37 years in Colorado. Yeah. Wish I'd have never left. But
are you an Army brat?
No.
It's Storm. Are you an Army brat?
Oh no, I just like moving around. Working remotely that's one of the big perks.
That's right.
So
tell my boss that I'd be in a cabin up north if I didn't have to go into the office 2 days a week.
That's actually where we're moving. And
sorry, John, if you're listening to this later.
Yep, that's actually where me and my girlfriend are moving in about 2 weeks. Is a cabin here in North Carolina. So I'm excited.
Nice.
But yeah, no,
Awesome.
all of our contractors are. It's no employees technically, but all of our contractors are remote. So
Yeah.
try to keep things comfortable for everybody.
Yeah. Who needs real estate? Sorry, Dave.
I'm out of the real estate business.
Yeah.
That was just a fun thing in Alaska.
Yeah. Well, cool.
I do plan on offering dedicated servers in the future too, but I mean, and that's going to be pretty easy for us to implement. Honestly, it's something I should do sooner than later. But the majority of people aren't going to be looking for it, so it hasn't been a priority.
Yeah. Start paying for that $800 a month bill first.
Yeah, right. And it only grows too the more people you get, especially right now. We won't be profitable for a long time, but
yeah,
it's a passion project right now.
Cool.
All right, well, that's about it for me. Well, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's great.
Thanks, Becky.
Well,
Storm and Phil.
Yeah, thank you all. This was super fun, and I'll throw together something in another 4 weeks, and maybe we can all do it again.
Cool. All right. Hey, and I'll get in contact with you about potentially sponsoring one of the other ones, and I can throw out a discount code and stuff. And
yeah, awesome.
Cool.
That'd be super duper.
All right, and I'll connect with you guys on Meetup and maybe LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great.
All right, I'll talk to you guys. See ya.
Nice to meet you. Nice to see you again, Dave. Have a lovely evening, all.
All right. You too.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Yeah.